All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is Tuesday again, and we always look forward to this day because we get to see many of you live, but also then knowing that this information that we're going to be bringing you is going to be something that furthers you building your own personal dreams, your business dreams, your family dreams with the SC1 Factory Team Call. So every single Tuesday we come together, same Zoom information, and then we record and upload it to the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel. If you are not yet subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell and look for those notifications for every time we upload new content. It's on a weekly and sometimes more than that. So be looking for those notifications. And then, of course, make sure that you are checking every single Monday the emails that come from corporate for you to be able to get all of the important, pertinent information for LifeVantage for this week. And also, they do give you information for the month as well. Remember, we have a new CEO, so be on the lookout for some amazing new information that's going to be coming over the next weeks. Really looking forward to meeting him here. We'll be
Couple
seeing
weeks.
just 2 weeks, less than
Yeah.
2 weeks. We'll be able to meet Terrence and bring back some good reports for you guys. And then, of course, we wanted to make sure each and every one of you were aware that there will not be an Own Your Tomorrow presentation that is live. And so we are going to be out of range. So please make sure that you're utilizing the amazing recordings that we have up for you. Plus, if you like to use the, oh gosh, what's our website? I just went completely blank. Uh, the one that you created that has the LV webinar on it. Help me, help me, help me. Yes,
Biohackingaging.com.
thank you. My brain
Okay.
just went boom on me. So biohackingaging.com on the LV webinar portion has an uploaded recording there. It's one of the most current within, gosh, the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So there is a presentation there, or you can just go to the YouTube channel and grab one there. And then, of course, Global Convention is coming quickly. If you're not registered yet, please make sure that you get registered because you are now at the 249 mark, and that is going to go up on site. So make sure that you get your registration completed. And then, of course, where you register, you can also see the complete event agenda. Starting with Wednesday, they are going to have corporate tours throughout the day that day, and so that you can go and see the corporate office. Remember, this is going to be the last time that we're going to be in Salt Lake City, right there where our corporate office is, for several years because of everything that Utah has going on with the Olympics coming and other things as well. So make sure that you come in at an appropriate time so that you can participate in one of those tours and be there for any of the pre-game, if you want to call it that, like the welcome party on Thursday night. And then, of course, the general sessions start on Friday and Saturday. Is going to be full content for you. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I want to share something, and I can't get into specifics because I literally don't know them. But Marcy and I just got off a phone call. And if you look right there on Friday, October 23rd, General Session 1, you do not want to miss that.
No. And you don't want to be late to it either.
No, you do not, because we just learned that there is new research coming out that they've been doing. I literally don't know anything
And that's
about
where
it.
we have to stop.
And the only reason I know about it is because I've been asked to talk about it. So at some point between now and then, they will be giving us information so much or such that I can walk out on stage and share it with the field about how do we utilize this new information. But there's new and exciting information, we're told, but I don't know anything about it. But be in General Session 1.
Yeah, it's well, you want to be in all of them. So make
Yes.
sure you get registered and get your butt in that seat, right? So that means get your flights, get your hotels, everything set up. And then, of course, be planning ahead because this is your business and business owners take ownership, right?
Yes.
So Momentum Academy in 2027, it is in Atlanta, Georgia, April 22nd through 24th. Current registration is $129. So make sure that you get yourself registered and you have got that blocked out of your calendar. All right, guys. So I love the series that we're doing here on the proven plan and how to go from the very beginning of becoming a consultant and doing your database all the way up to where we are today on week 7, handling concerns and understanding that questions are not a no, and they're not even pushback. They are actually buying signals and really kind of identifying what your prospect needs next to be able to move further into the process, right? And so if you have not seen the first 6, of the series, please make sure you go to the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel and you watch those. Get yourself caught up, because each one of these steps is vitally important for building your business. So excited to turn this over to Dr. Dondee Nettles.
Okay, that was awesome.
Sir.
Thank you for the drum roll. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about handling concerns, and I want to share with you this right here should literally be on repeat in your training, especially in your own self-talk, because one of the things about concerns, when we have something exciting to share with people, and we share it and they don't receive it the way we want them to, or they don't hear it the way we would like them to, oftentimes we wonder, did I say something wrong? Where did I lose them? What's going on? And we put it on us, and it literally has nothing whatsoever to do with us, assuming you're presenting it in a way that would be beneficial and advantageous for them to understand it. But handling concerns is something we all need to master. So this one is probably going to be one we repeat or should be repeating. And I'm so glad we're recording this, because on the channel, you're going to want to watch this one over and over and over again and practice it and master it, because handling concerns, and when there's questions, they're just buying signals. If somebody's asking you a question, you still have their attention. They just want further clarification.
Yeah, and one of the things that I really want to point out to you as we're going through this presentation is that concerns are not rejection of you. And so when you think about when somebody pushes back, think about what feelings you feel. Do you feel a tightening in your chest? Do you feel a nervousness in your belly? Do you feel maybe even signs of fear? Those are all signs of rejection. And so just know that this is not that when someone has a concern. So we are so excited to be able to break this down for you.
Yeah, so we are now week 7 of the SC1 factory training. We're going to be talking about handling objections and concerns. Because when people ask you questions, they're just literally telling you that they don't have enough information to make a decision quite yet, but it is a buying signal. You still have them. They are leaning in. It is nothing you said wrong. But so people say, well, you can ask yourself, what if this? Or how does this, where do you get your products from? Is it sustainable? Is it FDA approved? When they ask questions like this, they are just looking for how they can enter into what you already know. It has nothing whatever to say about you being critical. You said something wrong. You didn't say it in the right order. So please despair or detach yourself from that kind of a response when people start asking questions.
Yeah, and also keep in mind that when these questions come up, it's like it's not a matter of you being able to answer everything like in a perfect way, right? Like in a script form, because there is not a perfect script that will be able to help you do this, right? You need to be able to just have the confidence and that posture that you have the belief that what you're sharing is legit. It has the science, it has the backing, it has everything. And we know that this industry is a legit industry. And so those aren't the questions. And what you're going to find is that what their objection that you're receiving is actually isn't even what they're concerned about.
Right. And there's something I want to share here too that I wish I would have had in the beginning is when someone is asking a question, immediately start thinking, A, what tool can I use to answer that question? Or what team member in my support team am I going to bring into the equation? Don't ever think about how you're going to answer. What tool and what team member can you bring in? So just reframe the objection, especially if it's a hard objection or if somebody comes back with emotion attached to it, just reframe it. The question they're asking, it's just, if they're engaging, they still want to know, regardless of the emotional presentation of their question. So when you have a question, it just means they're still engaged, and their concern is not a rejection, as Marci said, not a rejection of you or anything else. It just means they're uncertain about where this applies. How do they get involved? What does it mean? Is there something else they need to understand? And don't correct them. Don't argue with them, and don't try to overpower them with your logic or your experience. It is not a battle. You are not trying to win this. And I'm sharing all of the mistakes I've made in the beginning, because I come from a lot of certainty when I'm sharing something, and my certainty is not going to be overcome by their uncertainty. But sometimes I even still try to overpower my certainty to their uncertainty, like it's a match or a chess match. And it's not at all. So stay curious. instead of getting defensive. Listen to what they're saying, not what you think they're saying, because oftentimes that is not what they're saying at all. Because when we get into a response, it kind of blocks our ear. Well, I can't speak for you guys. That's kind of how I see things sometimes in my prideful manner. Anything else you want to add to that? Well, you're disagreeing with me on here.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, you're just agreeing, not disagreeing.
Both in agreement there.
And ultimately, your posture matters more than your perfect words. It's just, are you leaning in to them and their concerns and their objections, and helping them navigate through the process.
And just so you guys know that we're not perfect at this. We're still learning this. And the reason why is because, as I said before, every single person that brings you a question or a concern is an individual that has different experiences that they're bringing it from, right? For example, yesterday I was helping one of our new consultants with a prospect and sharing information with her. And she's a very intelligent woman. And she's like, well, what about your best manufacturing practices? And where exactly do you get all of your ingredients, and where do you manufacture? Where's this? I'm like, whoa. Okay, let's slow down a little bit here. It's like, how about if I share some information with you? And first of all, I acknowledged, it's like, oh my gosh, all of this is so great. And I absolutely love the way your mind thinks, because that means that you get a lot of this, right? And then I was like, let's slow down just a little bit. Let's start with this, this, and this. And then let's schedule a call so that after you've looked through this information, that we can make sure that we get those questions that will come up answered the best way possible for you, with someone that's going to be able to answer them the best. Even though I was still the validator to her, I'm going to bring in another validator that will be able to match her energy and expertise in like the science and that sort of thing, right? And so just having that is like, okay, whoa. Because initially I was getting those feelings that I was experiencing or sharing with you. I was getting a little bit nervous and my chest was tightening up a little bit. It's like, oh my gosh, this lady knows some stuff. But you just have to slow down. And it's like, hey, I love that you've got all of these questions. How about if we start here? And then we can make sure that we get you all of the information that you're seeking and get your questions answered. So just know you don't have to answer it all at once. You can slow it down and just take it piece by piece too. Okay?
Yes. So this is so critical. Hear the concern beneath the words. And really, what is the ultimate source or reason why this question is being asked in the first place? And I'll tell you, 99% of the time, it's not because you said something wrong. It's because this person is a person of integrity. And I'm going to share a story. So I remember in the beginning, when we learned about this LifeVantage opportunity, everyone was a business presentation. We were only talking about the business. No, we were sharing everything. But the product story, the company story, the product story, how we get paid, our story, we're sharing all of that. But the intention was to enroll a consultant.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, if they said something like, well, this all sounds great, but I'm going to have to try the product first because I can't sell something I don't believe in. And I always thought, what did I say wrong? Why did they not want to join our business? They wanted to try the product first. In other words, they wanted to become a customer. And I realized one day, or it was pointed out to me one day, what are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. You're just dealing with a person of integrity. Would you want somebody to say, okay, I'll jump in on the business, forget about whether the products work or not? That you don't want a person in your business that doesn't have any integrity. When someone says, I need to try the product first because I can't sell something I don't believe in, that is some of the best words you can hear. You're dealing with a person of integrity that wants to come from their own product story. And I get chills thinking about this, how I was so wrong in the beginning. I said something wrong, or I only got a customer. It's like, what are you talking about? You are changing someone's life. Customers become great consultants once they feel the benefits. And we were talking, Marci and I just had this conversation yesterday. A fellow chiropractor is on, and this is a guy who's, I think he's 46 years old. And he was diagnosed recently with the C word in his kidneys. Started taking Protandim NRF2, started taking collagen. He feels amazing. He said he sent us a text yesterday. He said he has a vertical leap of 30 inches, something he hasn't had since he was 19 years old. And he's 46 years old. And I was like, our products freaking work. This guy who's taking these products is having this incredible experience, something he hasn't been able to do since he was 19 years old.
Yeah.
Do you think he's got a little belief in our product and therefore could have a little belief in our company?
And he's 46
And he's
now
46
too.
years old. And he's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And so we're constantly being reminded of people of integrity. Listen. So when you are listening, hear the concern beneath the question. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. Give them the ability to navigate their own path with integrity so they join your business, whether as a customer or a consultant or as a referral source, happily, with the right intentions and for the right reasons. So if it's money, it's always going to come down to money, time, and whether or not they think they can do it. Those are kind of the top three. So the money, is this worth the investment? That's where if this is the question, is it worth the investment? And they're outwardly saying that, or their words are alluding that they're saying that, great opportunity to look at the purchase price, even if it's our top package, less than $1,000, versus what you can make in our income disclosure statement and how long it will take to get there. And then simply give the question back. If in this amount of time in the job or career you currently have, could you make this additional amount of money in this time if you did nothing different? 99.9% of the time, the answer is nope, not even close. And so you're giving them hope or a new way of looking at something to answer the question, is it worth the investment or time? Can this fit into my already full life? Well, time's going to pass by anyway. What else, especially if it's giving them freedom, financial freedom, or just a little bit of a break, what you're currently doing, is it going to be built in that you're going to get that break? Or could it be in your very spare time, incorporating this so it slowly builds and allows you to buy back some of your time, even if it's just to spend more time with the people you love and care about?
And one of the things about this too, and when it comes down to like is it worth the investment, is like, it could mean that it's like, I'm not seeing the value yet and they haven't gotten the information that they truly need. But when it comes to, is this going to fit into my already full life? This could really mean is like, am I going to be doing this by myself, or am I going to really have the support? And is there a system in place, right? So there's, like we were saying before, a lot of the times the questions or the concerns that you might receive are not even the real thing. There's the concern below the concern that is the real reason that they aren't just saying yes to you right now. So there's more information that they need. They need to see that there's going to be the support. Like tonight, I'm going to be driving out to meet up with Joe and his prospect at a presentation. It's an hour away from where I'm at. But that prospect seeing that, hey, oh, I'm going to have somebody that's going to help me and Joe, but then also there's more people other than Joe, and we can actually go to other people's presentations. That's a big part of our system. And so a lot of the times we can help evaluate or help people evaluate and eliminate concerns by actually just doing things the right way, right? By inviting them to presentations that you're not doing yourself, and by having support team ready to help.
Yes, because what Marci is saying is trust. Mm-hmm. It all comes down to trust, because there's, and let me share a statistic with you. There are 10 times more ex-network marketers than there are current network marketers, for a reason. Because a lot of times people that are in that X network marketing category have tried it before and the products didn't work the way they said they would. They tried it before and the company wasn't as integrous as they thought, or they tried it before and they didn't have the team of support they were wishing that they had. And so guess what they're bringing to this new opportunity that they're hearing about? Are the products work? In other words, is there something that can prove that it back it up rather than somebody's testimonial or a nice colorful brochure? Mm-hmm. Is the company transparent? Have they been around long enough? Have they stood the test of time? All they have to do is be in one presentation and get those two questions answered. And then, like Marci was saying, is there a team of support that can help me? If you are the only one there with your product, and there's been people that say, hey, look, I'm sending my prospect over to your meeting. Can you take good care of them? And they're only 5 minutes away. It's like, what are you talking about? You need to be here with your prospect, so they can see, one, that you believe in what you're telling them they should believe in, and then they can meet us, and then it's the whole thing. But the three biggest reasons: company doesn't do what they say they're going to do, the products don't do what they say they're going to do, or I tried it before and nobody was there to help me. Those are the three biggest things to overcome, and that's why it is so important to listen to what they're saying. And if they are in our presentation long enough, they're going to hear all three of those are Yep, it doesn't apply. That's been your experience in the past, but none of that applies here.
Well, and that's also why we cover those six key concepts or the six things in a presentation, right? Because once someone has seen a whole presentation, more than likely we've touched on what their concern was and maybe even answered and provided what, the answer for them. But after they've told you this, it's like, when they say it's like, is this really worth the investment? Or it's like, I can't afford this. It's like asking them specific questions, it's like, what specifically concerns you about that? Right? Or when you say you need to think about it, what part would you like to think through? Another good one is this is like, oh my gosh, I completely hear what you're saying, and that's a valid question. It's like, if I can share some information with you that will help answer that for you, would that be the right next step? Right? Just ask questions. After you listen to them, ask questions.
Yep, absolutely. And then the LACE, use LACE, don't chase. Take a screenshot of this. This is so critically important. And LACE is simply listen, affirm what they're saying, acknowledge what they're saying, clarify so you understand exactly what they are saying and not hearing what they're not, and then explain. Clarity first, confidence second, the next step is third. And they're going to ask you about they're going to be walking into the next step if you do this right. So listen, let them finish completely. So you hear the totality of what their concern or objection or whatever it is, or what questions they're asking. And then affirm, validate the question.
Before we go into affirm, though, when we're talking about listen, a really important part of listening, and this is something that I struggle with sometimes, and I bet that there's a lot of people that do, is that while you're listening, you think you're listening, but you're actually formulating your response.
Yeah.
And so you're not listening. And so really trying to shut down your own thought process and just listen in that listening aspect, and you're going to be so much more effective.
And it's rooted in scripture. In James 1:19, it says, be quick to listen, slow to speech. In other words, your rebuttal or you're filling in what they're answering, and then slow to anger. Because when we're excited about something and we're sharing something with somebody and they give us some pushback, I don't know about you, I get angry, I get frustrated. I'm like, what don't you see? I want to wring them by the neck. And it's not because I realize I'm not listening to their concern or their objection. I'm assuming that this person is unintelligent or whatever, and I make silly assumptions sometimes. But it's the key is this LACE principle: listen, affirm, clarify, and explain is money.
Yeah.
If you can master this and be patient, and we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. If you listen twice as long before you speak, it will serve you well.
Yeah. So when you move to that affirm or at the acknowledgement, the A of LACE, basically you're going to kind of repeat back to them and validate the question that they have, right? You're not going to give them a conclusion, or you're not going to answer anything at this point. And it doesn't mean that you're agreeing with what they have a concern about, because most of the time we're not going to, right? Because we know something they don't know yet. They just don't know what they don't know. And so affirming is just acknowledging what their question or their concern is and not answering it yet.
Yeah. And when you clarify and you just, okay, let me make sure I understand what you're saying. Is this what you said? Mm-hmm. And then once you get the clarity that, yes, that's there, then you can explain the answer. And this is where I have to reel myself in, because sometimes I think, okay, now I've got their attention and now I can explain, and you go in for the full court press and you over deliver. Brevity is so
mansplaining.
Mansplaining, yeah. Yeah, guilty. So in that when that opportunity is there, do not use it to share all the stuff you know and sound and look or attempt to look impressive. Brevity is so critically important here. They don't need to get a 5-minute explanation when 30 seconds will do, or a video will do, or whatever it is. Briefly explain, because then that will typically lead to other questions. You don't have to go in for the closing argument.
So something else I want to really point out on this slide about using LACE, when it comes down to that clarifying question aspect, don't ask a question and keep talking. Okay. You need to ask the question and you need to then zip your lip, right? It's almost like back when we would play the clip.
Make the flip,
zip the lip, right? Connect to a team member. But really you need to give them time to answer, because a lot of the times we show our insecurity or maybe our lack of belief or our feel to be the person that has all the answers, that we just step over the opportunity to have them answer. And so hold yourself back at that point when you're asking the questions, stop and actually let them answer. And it will be really imperative for you, and it'll give you so much more information about really what their true concern is. Because if you don't let them answer, you're not really going to know. And then you're just kind of blowing hot smoke up somebody's skirt, and it doesn't get you far.
Right. So isolate before your answer. Or before you answer. So one concern at a time. So, and then no objection whack-a-mole where you're just like rapid firing, trying to answer all of their concerns. Make sure you pause, isolate one at a time, because one, it's respectful to them. And somebody who has multiple concerns is somebody who is very analytical, probably filled with integrity, and all they're doing is eliminating one at a time. Is this something or the question, is this something I can do? And they've got all these questions. So when all the concerns come up, they're eliminating one at a time. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. And then when they have no more concerns, they're leaning in, and it's, then you guide them to the next obvious step. So just isolate it. So ask, besides that, is there anything else holding you back? Even if they hadn't said anything. Because if somebody, you get your question or you get your concern answered, and it's like, is that it? Is there anything else that is bothering you or concerning you or that I can give you information on? You are letting them know you have their best interest in mind, and getting a rapid conclusion or getting a rapid decision is not your intention. It's helping them navigate to when they're ready.
Yeah, and this is also the perfect time for you just to kind of take a step back from your personal desire, right? From how you want them to respond. Because if you can step back and separate yourself, give yourself some buffer space so that when they say something, you don't automatically become defensive or feel like it's something against you. That's going to be a really huge tool for you to be able to separate yourself from becoming offended or becoming defensive, because defensive mechanisms often become a back and forth that is not positive for the progression of where we want this conversation to go. And so make sure that you are not becoming defensive at any time on what your prospect is saying, because it's not a rejection of you. Remember that. Remember what I said before. This is not a rejection of you. It's not an attack on you. They just don't know what they don't know yet.
Yeah.
So give yourself that buffer.
And one thing in this situation or in this scenario that comes up on a pretty regular basis, if somebody's taking, now not activators, but if they're taking some of our other products that we have and they're using an alternative, or they're using a similar product from another company, and they're trying to basically ask, why is your product better than my product? We don't know that it is, because the product itself and the product experience that the person has may be two different things. Maybe they're not taking, or maybe they're not using the product that they're using already the way it could be used. So I simply just say, well, that's a great comparison. Would you be willing, because you obviously know what experience the product you're currently taking is giving you, would you be interested or open to pausing the product you're currently using, use our product for 90 days, and then simply ask yourself the question, which one makes you feel more alive, or which one serves you better? Because then you're acknowledging that they have a product, you're giving that just simply an experience comparison, and then simply say, would you be willing to try ours for 90 days, and whatever one serves you best, continue to buy that one. That is the most integrous way of doing it, and somebody's not going to feel threatened like you're making their product wrong, because you can't do that. I mean, you can. It's not going to be very successful, especially if it's another network marketing company that they're using a product on. And so just try that approach, and most people will be willing to go, sure. Even if it's more expensive, people will be willing to pay for a better outcome. And that's so because if you don't believe me, look at people who buy Lamborghinis versus people that buy Toyota Celicas. And I don't know why I came up with a Toyota Celica. They both get you from point A to point B. One costs a lot more money, and Toyota Celica is one of the most reliable cars ever made. So getting from point A to point B is if that's the goal, doesn't matter what car you drive. If it's a status thing, it matters extremely what car you drive. And that's the kind of the whole point. People will pay more for the one, the appeal, two, the status, and three, the ultimate outcome. So give people that permission.
And go through the whole process, guys. First of all, it's like finding out what's holding them back, separating the real concern from their initial hesitation, and just making sure that you earn permission before offering your answer. Don't just bombard people. Make sure that they are on board with moving forward.
Yeah. Oh, answer with proof, not pressure. This is one of the things that makes LifeVantage at the top of the list of all network marketing companies. We've got proof abundantly with our products, with our system, with our income disclosure statement, with our compensation plan. We are the cream of the crop, top 10 in every category of the 6 that we talk about in this entire industry. So there's no pressure there. Just let them see the proof that they need to prove to themselves this is the best option that they've seen up to now, and using the smallest amount of evidence that creates the clarity that they need.
Keep going.
Yeah.
We got a lot of slides still.
Yeah. So lead with your truth and never over exaggerate or over promise. There's no need to embellish when the truth, like we have in spades, is really all you need. Got it. Okay. So here's the big 3, like I said before. They don't have enough time, they don't have enough money, or they don't have enough trust. Those are the 3 things, and don't diminish any of them because they are the most valid things that make people stop and say, nope, this isn't for me, or assume it's not for me. So let the questions come. So money, explore the value, the priorities, and the options that we have. What is it about the money? Is it about the initial investment? Is it about the money that you make and the time it's going to take to make it? Get to the root of their issue, because they're probably basing it on a previous company or a previous experience or a previous amount of money that they've set aside to join another company, or what they think is in their budget or their value or whatever. So take the time, and then the time, show simplicity, the systems, and the realistic expectation or activity they're going to have in this, because especially if they have scarcity amount of time. What are you going to do in that scarce amount of time that you have to change your circumstances? Is there anything building you leverage? And most people, what are they going to do? They're going to take a second job or a third job or work more hours or put in some overtime. All of that is time for money, which is giving them less time with the things that are valuable and creating zero leverage for them. And then the trust, build the credibility, never demand belief. The credibility is so critically important. And so the trust, get to what is it that they distrust, or what is it they need more trust in? The product, the system, the company, the timing, the trends, the compensation plan, whatever it is, it's probably going to be one of those. And so just listen long enough. And then the self-doubt, if they've had experience, if every time they've ever shared something with somebody, the answer's been no, then they may be having some self-doubt. We just need to get their pool of prospects bigger. And then the timing. So you contrast the waiting with the cost of staying stuck. That is such a great way of analyzing it. What is it? If the time's going to pass anyway.
Yeah, what's going to change if you don't
do anything different? Where are you going to be 2 years from now, a year from now, 6 months from now, next week,
or when retirement comes?
Right.
Yeah. How prepared are you going to be? And so something I want to really point out here on the right hand side here, where it says don't memorize comebacks, that's like, don't memorize scripts, because remember, each individual is going to need something different. And so you're going to find yourself stuck. The script doesn't work, right? It's because each person is individual. And so memorizing what L.A.C.E stands for, right? That's a principle. Listen, acknowledge, right? Confirm, and then explain briefly. Right? So you want to memorize the principles, because then you want to listen, and then you'll be able to respond to what they actually said in an appropriate way that will move you forward.
Yeah. So close the loop with confidence. And that is, so again, back to that clarity, give them the choice that leads to the next step with no pressure, no chasing, no weirdness, no awkwardness, no jeopardizing friendships, no omitting yourself from the Christmas card list. Don't do any of that. So confirm. This is something too, to check in. Did that answer your question? And then pause and let them answer. And then, give them feedback. What else would you need to know to go to the next step? What other information can I provide? Invite that next step. Don't force it. because you're not going in for the kill. You're helping them basically tell you, sign me up. Where do we go from here? Send me the link. And then it's their pace, but close that loop with confidence. And if it's just a not now, this isn't really right for me right now, then just make sure you stay on their radar. Would it be okay with you? I follow it up from time to time because I really can, I'm really concerned, and I care about you, and I want what's best for you.
And be specific on that follow-up too. It's like, hey, would you mind if I follow up with you in 30 days and see if it's a better time? Or would you mind if I followed up with you in 90 days? So if they're like, no, 30 days, yeah. But be specific in that time, and then make sure that you put it into your calendar and that you actually follow up. Because if you don't do what you say you're going to do, you're going to show them that what their concern was right in the first place, right? Even if it has nothing to do with what they were concerned about. If they can't trust you in being someone of integrity and doing what you say you're going to do, that's going to be an exclamation point on any concern that they've had. So that's one of the most important things, is be a person of integrity. And then you can also, if they're like, hey, this just isn't for me, it's like, hey, I completely honor and respect that. I would really love for you to be my cheerleader. Would you mind if I just shared with you when, really important milestones happen for me in my business? Because if it's somebody that's a friend or a family member, they're going to want to cheer you on. Yeah. And so it's okay. And then you can also be keeping them kind of in the loop of what progress you're making, and then get to work and hit those milestones, right? And who knows, when they start seeing you, create this different way of living, it just might become something they're more interested in.
Yep. Amen.
Ready?
Yep. So this is so powerful. Seek first to understand, then be understood. And Stephen Covey, the author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Just incredible. It's a timeless principle. It will always be the case. So make sure you're listening twice as much as you're speaking, and that you're doing it in a pattern or in a way, in a fashion that is exactly right for the person.
And as you can master this is one of the true leadership skills. The faster you can learn how to listen before speaking, the quicker you're going to hit those goals and accomplishments that you're seeking yourself.
So true. And the 5 concern.
Oh, wait. Oops, sorry.
So the 5, there's going to be, and depending upon whether you're totally in love with the products and the experience that you're having, and that's kind of where your passion is coming from, or you're totally in love with the opportunity and the results you're having financially and the leverage you're creating, and that is kind of the root. You're still talking about everything, but you're there, whatever your passion part of it is, based on your presentation style, you are going to get concerns, and there will be probably top 5. There's going to be a bunch of them, depending upon the person and how much in control they want to be, but there's going to be ones that come up over and over and over again. Whatever they are for you, write those down, and then go through the L.A.C.E process, the listen, acknowledge, clarify, and explain, and then come up with a well-patterned or a well-fashioned or well-drawn up response to that, where you help them go through the process of their concern or their question or their whatever they need additional information. I'll fill in the blanks for them. Take it at their pace, but there's going to be ones that come up over and over again. And then role play those. Role play those with yourself in the mirror, the way I used to do, and even still do. Role play them with somebody near you, a team member, a friend, family member, and then so you can gain confidence in that. Another thing I used to do when I was in practice is have, so when I would meet with people at our Chamber of Commerce meetings, for example, and we had a referral group, have somebody come in and pose as a new patient. Just so they can see what the process looks like. They're people that aren't coming into my practice, but they're seeing how we do it, and then give me their honest feedback. If you have a person who's a professional, say, hey, would you mind if I walked you through the onboarding process of our company so you can give me your feedback? Do that. It's kind of a backdoor approach, and people will go, wow, that sounds interesting. Give me more information, and it turns out benefiting you. So, but you're getting an unbiased, observational experience from someone just to provide an objective response to you. They're looking at it from your best interest. They're not looking at it as a potential customer or consultant. They're looking for it as somebody to give you feedback, but they can also share with you the concerns that they may have. But there's going to be 5 top ones. Write those down, come up with a L.A.C.E approach to that, and then use that process to help you get better and gain more confidence in how you're going to handle those things, because the role playing part of it is something that is so critically important for gaining confidence in the process.
Yep. So that is the next episode of how to qualify concerns and move forward in the process with your prospects. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again next week. All right, guys, have a great week. Let us know how we can help you. Take care.